Joining us to chat about his latest book, How Canada Works, The People Who Make Our Nation Thrive, please welcome award-winning journalist and best-selling author, Peter Mansbridge. Hello, Peter.
Hey, how are you?
What a pleasure meeting you.
My pleasure.
Oh, my gosh, come on into the kitchen. Oh, my gosh. I am so thrilled that you are here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. What am I cooking?
Oh, I know. I was like, next time, you name it, we're making it. I love it.
I can only make one thing.
What is it?
Eggs.
Oh! What's your favorite way to make eggs?
The easiest way, just crack them, put them in the pan, and let them fry.
Fried egg. That's
Yeah,
honestly,
that's
that's the best egg. That's all you really need to know.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, Peter, it goes without saying that you are one of the most respected, known journalists in the country. You have covered so many incredible stories and people throughout your career. And that's what I love about this book. You're celebrating the everyday people. You're celebrating the fact that Canada is more than the sum of its parts, and every single Canadian adds something to who we are. When you were writing this book with your co-author, how did you choose what stories got into the book?
Well, it was a great process. Mark Bulgutch is the co-author, and I've done other books with him in the past. And we sat down, first of all, because it was really the jobs that would lead us to the people. So we came up with a list of jobs we felt were really important to making the country work, but didn't get any kind of respect from the rest of us.
Or fanfare.
Fanfare. We tend to look at the leaders of, politics, business, what have you, and they're all important. But these are the people that really make the country work. And so we just came up with a list of the things that interested us and went from there.
Yeah. That's amazing. I can imagine it being a hard list to make, though. During your career, you conducted over 15,000 interviews, which is just a number I can't even comprehend. You've been to every single continent other than Antarctica. Can't blame you. I hear it's cold. You've broadcasted from every province and territory. Is there a specific story that really stands out to you, that meant something or kind of holds you?
Well, what I found in my career was, I interviewed a lot of famous people, and that was, that was fun. That's always thrilling. But what really had the greatest impact on me is interviewing people I'd never heard of before, and whose names even today I don't necessarily remember, but I remember the moment. I remember what they were saying. Whether it was people who, back in the 70s were fleeing Vietnam, the Vietnamese boat people, many of whom came to Canada, listening to their stories, the people who came across the wall in Berlin when the wall came down in 1989, those people, and lots of people in Canada, in small communities, large communities, right across the country, coast to coast to coast. I've been them all, seen them all. And I've met so many who had a real influence on me. And in many ways, that was tugging at both Mark and I when we thought of this book. Those are the people who make a difference. Those, at a time when some people talk about the country's broken, and I understand that political argument. But nevertheless, the country still works, and it works because of people like that in the book. And they could be, they could be a high-rise window washer. They could be a parole board officer. They could be a funeral director. The list goes on, a hockey coach. There's 28 of them who are profiled in this book. And I'm pretty proud of them, and they should be proud of themselves.
Yeah, I think that's so great. And with this book, you're looking at people. I think sometimes people think to make a change, you need to do something big. And there are people in the world who I think do those big things. But every single day, there are people doing just normal things that impact so many people around them. And celebrating them is key, especially right now. I feel like it's hard to get bogged down. Do you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, what they do, it is big. Each person in this book, you'll learn something about jobs you never thought of. Like the high-rise window washer. He's in Edmonton. And I wanted to do a high-rise window washer because I've always been fascinated by that.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Look at that man go.
I mean, I get nervous on an elevator. So I can't imagine hanging off the side of a building. But, the stories he told me about what it's really like doing that job, little things like in the middle of summer when it's really hot, you can't touch the window pane. It's so hot, up on the whatever floor, he may be on the 50th floor. And the squeegee, when he wipes with the water and then scrapes it off the water. By the time he's turned it to scrape it, the water's gone. It's evaporated.
My gosh.
Because the window gets so hot. Little things like that. And of course, the things he sees.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the dirt you could know. Yeah. Literal dirt and figurative dirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, that's a guy you want to like have a drink, have a coffee with.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, hear his stories. Oh my gosh. Well, that's amazing. Well, you are continuing to connect with people through your podcast, The Bridge with Peter Mansbridge. First off, fantastic title. How'd you come up with it? I'm joking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's amazing.
Let's say it was suggested to me by a number of people.
Yeah.
Thought it was a good one.
What is it, though, about that work that you love so much and want to continue to do?
Well, after years of being tied down to a newscast, which I loved, the National, CBC.
Yeah.
But it was telling stories in 2 minutes, basically, you know? And that was my life for 50 years.
Yeah.
When I started the podcast, I was liberated in a sense that you know, podcast, you can go as long as you want.
Yeah.
And I love doing interviews, and suddenly I was doing interviews that weren't 2 or 3 minutes long. They were 30, 35 minutes long.
Wow.
And I enjoy those a lot, and apparently so do the listeners.
Yeah, it's amazing. You can really kind of dig in and get into kind of more the minutia.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I can't imagine you as anything but Peter Mansbridge, who you are, but was there ever a plan B? Did you have were you secretly like, I'm gonna be a rock star? Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to be a rock star.
Nice.
I wanted to be a hockey player.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a chef.
Oh, an egg chef of the world. I love that.
Egg chef of the world. I mean, it's my favorite show now, aside from yours.
Yes, yeah.
Is The Chef, which I'm sure you've watched.
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh.
I love that show. It was probably a rock star. I mean, I once got to, Gord Downey was a friend, and they had asked me one day to introduce them at the Scotiabank Arena when they were performing a concert. And that was the closest I got to standing on a stage with thousands of screaming people in front of me.
Yeah.
Which is what I'd always wanted to do. I always wanted to be there. But anyway, so that was fun. I guess that's probably what it would have been.
Yeah.
Or what I
what you would
wished it had been. Yeah. But listen, I can't complain.
Yeah.
You listed all the things I've got to do.
Yeah.
The people I've met, the interviews I've done, the places I've been to. You can't beat that. It was a wonderful, wonderful job.
Yeah, it really was. I'm so honored to have talked to you. Also, fun fact about Peter Mansbridge and I, we get our hair cut by the same person, which is my favorite.
My haircut? Doesn't take long.
Yeah. I mean, she's still pretty quick with me. Peter, it's been such an absolute pleasure talking to you, but this book is full of so many inspiring and amazing stories. And thanks to Peter, you're all going home with a copy of How Canada Works. It has been such a pleasure. Peter, what a delight. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.